a very special show. It is called Frankenstein, the Steampunk Prometheus. We are Actors Cultural Theater, and we are brought to you in part by the Broward Cultural Division and Destination Sistrum. What you're about to see is the entire book of Frankenstein broken down into 4 main scenes where the monster interacts with the doctor. Now this is going to be one of the few scenes, few productions where you actually get to hear the original words of Shelley's Frankenstein. Most productions write their own stuff. We are going to give it to you live. Now there's one little thing I have to let you know about. Each scene is played by a different doctor and a different Frankenstein. Alright? Alright, so let's start our scene. Oh my God, there's a monster behind me. With our monster. Act 1.
Do not you fear the fierce vengeance of my arm reaps on your miserable head? Begone, vile insect! Or rather stay, that I may trample you to dust. And oh, that I could, with the extinction of your miserable existence, restore those victims that you so diabolically murdered!
I expected this reception. All men hate the wretched. How then must I be hated who am miserable beyond all living things? Yet you, my creator, detest and spurn me. Thy creature, to whom that art bound by ties only dissoluble by the annihilation of one of us. You purpose to kill me. How dare you sport thus with life? Do your duty towards me and I will do mine towards you and the rest of mankind. If you will comply with my conditions, I will leave them and you at peace. But if you refuse, I will glut the maw of death until it be satiated with the blood of your remaining friends.
Abhorrent monster, fiend that thou art, the tortures of hell are too mild a vengeance for thy crimes. Wretched devil, you reproach me with thy creation. Come now, that I may extinguish the spark that I so negligently bestowed!
Remember, thou hast made me more powerful than thyself. My height is superior to thine, my joints more supple. But I will not be tempted to set myself in opposition to thee.
Begone, vile insect. Or rather stay, so that one of us will win.
Remember, I am thy creature. I will be even mild and docile to my natural lord and king. If thou wilt also perform thy part, the which thou owest me, O Frankenstein, be not equitable to every other and tremble upon me alone, to whom thy justice and even thy clemency and affection is most due.
Begone, I will not hear you. There can be no community between you and me. We are enemies.
Remember, I am thy creature. I ought to be thy Adam. But I am rather the fallen angel, whom thou drivest from joy for no misdeed.
Cursed devil. Abhorrent monster. Cursed be the hands that formed you.
I was benevolent and good. who implores our justice and compassion? Believe me, Frankenstein, I was benevolent. My soul glowed with humanity. But am I not alone? Miserably alone? You, my creator, abhor me. What hope can I gather from your fellow beings who owe me nothing? They spurn and hate me. These desert mountains and dreary glaciers are my refuge. I've wandered here many days. The caves of ice which I only do not fear are a dwelling to me, and the only one which man does not grudge. These bleak skies I hail, for they are kinder to me than your fellow beings. If the multitude of mankind knew of my existence, they would do as you do and arm themselves for my destruction. Shall I not then hate them who abhor me? I am miserable, and they shall share my wretchedness.
You have made me wretched beyond expression. You have left me no power to consider whether I am just to you or not.
Yet, it is in your power to recompense me and deliver them from an evil which remains for only you to make so great that not only you and your family, but thousands of others shall be swallowed up in the whirlwinds of its rage. Let your compassion be moved, and do not disdain me, friends. You would, with a satisfied conscience, destroy your own creatures. Oh, praise the eternal justice of man. Yet, I ask you not to spare me. Listen to me, and if you can, and if you will, destroy the work of this man.
Okay, Act 1. Very good. Joanna Dumont as the monster. And Hollywood as Dr. Frankenstein. I did do one little edit. We do have the bride, which doesn't really appear in the book. But in this production, she has lines.
Begone! Relieve me from the sight of your detested form.
Thus I relieve thee, my creator. Thus I take from thee a sight from which you abhor. Still thou canst not listen, and grant me thy compassion. I command it from you. Upon you it rests whether I forever leave the neighborhood of man and lead a hapless life, or become the scourge of your fellow creatures and the author of your own speedy ruin. You must create a mate for me with whom I can live in the interchange of those sympathies necessary for my being. You alone can do this, and I command it from you as a right which you must not refuse to concede.
I do refuse it, and no torture shall ever extort a consent from me. You may render me the most miserable of men, but you will never, ever elevate me in mine own eyes. Shall I create another like you, whose joint hatred shall desolate the world? This may not be. I shall never consent.
You are in the wrong! And instead of threatening, I am content to reason with you. I am malicious because I am miserable. Am I not shunned and hated by all mankind? You, my creator, would rip me to pieces in triumph. Remember that, and tell me why I should pity man more than he pities me. Shall I respect man while he contempts me? Let him live with me in the interchange of kindness. But this cannot be. The human senses are insurmountable barriers to our do I swear inextinguishable hatred. I will work towards your destruction, nor finish until I desolate your heart, so you shall curse the very hour of your birth! I intended to reason. This passion is detrimental to me. What I ask of you is reasonable and moderate. I demand a creature of another sex, but as hideous as myself. My companion will be of the same nature as myself. And we shall make our bed of dried leaves, and the sun will shine on us as on men, and we ripen our food. It is true, we shall be monsters, cut off from the whole world, but in that account, we shall be more attached to one another. Our lives will not be happy, but they will be harmless and free of misery. We shall feel the affections of sensitive beings and become linked to a chain of existence and events which we are now excluded. I swear by the sun and by the fire of love that burns my heart, that if you grant my prayer, if you consent, neither you nor any other human being shall ever behold us again. We will quit the neighborhood of man, and dwell, as it may chance, in the most savage of places. We will go to the vast wilds of South America.
You propose to fly from the habitations of man to dwell in the wilds where the beasts of the field will be your only companions?
The picture I present to you is peaceful and human. You must feel that you could deny it only in the wantonness of power and cruelty. Pitiless as you have been towards me, I now see compassion in your eyes. Let me seize this favorable moment and persuade you to promise what I so ardently desire.
How can you, who long for the love and sympathy of man, persevere in this exile? You may seek their kindness, but you will meet with their detestation. Your evil plan will be aroused. This may not be.
How inconstant are your feelings! But a moment ago you were moved by my representation. Why do you again harden yourself towards my complaints? I swear to you, on the earth which I stand, and by you that made me, with the companion you bestow, my evil passions will have fled, for I shall be met with sympathy. My life will flow quietly away, and in my dying moments, I shall not curse my Maker.
You swear to be harmless, but have you not shown a degree of malice that should mainly distrust you? May not this even be a feint to add to your triumph by providing you with a source for your revenge?
I must not be trifled with, and I demand an answer! If I have no ties and no affections, hatred and vice must be my portion. My vices are the children of a forced solitude which I abhor.
I consent to your plan. upon your solemn oath to quit Europe forever and every place in the neighborhood of man, I shall deliver unto your hands a mate to accompany you in your exile.
Fear not. When you are ready, I shall appear.
Excellent. Next we have Tawana and Hollywood returning, but now the roles are reversed. Monster becomes doctor, doctor becomes monster.
I will not! I will not!
You dare to destroy the work in which you began. What is it that you intend? I left Switzerland with you. I crept along the shores of the Rhine, among the Willow Islands, and over the summits of its hills. I have dwelt many months in the east of England, among the deserts of Scotland. I have endured incalculable fatigue and cold and hunger. Do you dare to destroy my hopes?
Be gone! I do break my promise. Never again will I create another like yourself, equal in deformity and wickedness.
Slave, I before reasoned with you, but you have proved yourself unworthy of my condescension. Remember that I have power. You believe yourself to be miserable? I could make you so wretched that the light of day will be hateful to you. You are my creator, but I am your master. Obey!
The hour of my irresolution is past, and the period of your power has arrived. Your words cannot move me to do an act of wickedness, but they do confirm me in a determination of not creating you a companion in vice. Shall I, in cold blood, set loose upon the earth a demon whose delight is in death and wretchedness? Be gone! I am firm, and your words will only exasperate my rage.
Shall each man find a wife for his bosom, and each beast have his mate, and I be alone? I had feelings of affection that were requited by detestation and scorn. Man you may hate, but beware, your hours will pass in dread and misery, and soon the bolt will fall which must ravish from you your happiness forever. Are you to be happy while I grovel in the intensity that is my wretchedness? You can blast my other passions, but revenge remains revenge, henceforth dearer than light or food. I may die, but first you, my tyrant and tormentor, shall curse the sun that gazes on your misery. Beware, for I am fearless, and therefore powerful. I will watch with the wiliness of a snake, that I may sting with its venom. Man, you shall repent the injuries you inflict!
Devil, cease, and do not poison the air with these sounds of malice. I have declared my resolution to you, and I am no coward to bend beneath words. Leave me. I am inexorable.
It is well. I go. But remember, I shall be with you on your wedding night.
Villain! Before you sign my death warrant, be sure that you are yourself safe. By the sacred earth on which I kneel, by the shades that wander near me, by the deep and eternal grief that I feel, I swear, and by thee, O night, and the shades that preside over thee, to pursue the demon who caused this misery, until he or I shall perish in mortal conflict. I call on you, spirits of the dead, and on you, wandering ministers of vengeance, to aid and conduct me in my work. Let the cursed and hellish monster drink deep of agony. Let him feel the despair that now torments me. Introducing the next scene, as our host is taking participation in it. So this scene here is where the monster dies. And a surprise. All right.
Satisfied, miserable wretch. You have determined to live, and I am satisfied. No. My reign is not yet over, for here we are in the everlasting ices of the north, where you will feel the misery of cold and frost, to which I am impassive. Prepare. Your toils have not yet ended, for we have embarked upon a journey where your suffering will satisfy my everlasting hatred.
Alas, the strength I relied on is gone. I feel that I shall soon die. And you, my enemy and persecutor, may still be a being. Think not that I possess that burning hatred nor ardent desire for revenge I once felt. But I feel myself justified in wanting the death of my adversary.
You hate me, but your abhorrence cannot possibly equal that which I feel for myself. I look at the hands that executed the deed of my creation, and I think of the mind that conceived it, and I long for the moment where it will haunt my thoughts no more.
During these final moments of my existence, I have found myself occupied. But I feel myself justified, nor blamable. I swore with my power that I would assure your happiness and well-being. But there is another paramount to that. The feelings of my own species had greater claim to my attention, for they had greater proportion of happiness and misery. What? In evil, you killed my friends. You devoted to destruction beings who possess exquisite sensations, happiness, and wisdom. And now I do not know when this vengeance may end.
And what does it avail that I now ask you to pardon me? I, who have irretrievably destroyed thee by destroying all thou lovest?
Miserable yourself, that you should die and leave no one other wretched. The task of your destruction was mine, but I failed. I failed.
Yes, you failed. Did you think that I was dead to agony and remorse? You who suffered not in the execution of my creation.
That you remain an instrument of mischief disturbs me. in other respects this hour, when I momentarily expect my release, is the only happy one I've had in several years. The forms of the beloved dead, they flit before me.
Now, it has ended. Here is my last victim. I've devoted my creation and my creator to misery. I have pursued him even to this irremediable ruin. There he lies, white and cold in death. He cannot answer me. In his murder, my crimes are consummated. The miserable series of my being is wound to a close, oh Frankenstein! But soon I shall die, and what I now feel will no longer be felt. I was fashioned to be susceptible to love and sympathy. Soon these burning miseries will be extinct. I will ascend upon my funeral fire and exalt in the agony of his torturing flames. The light of that conflagration will fade away, and my ashes will be blown into the sea by the winds, and my spirit will rest in peace. Farewell.
Thank you. That was Steampunk Frankenstein. We are Actors Cultural Theater. I'd like to have the actors come up on stage. One as Doctor and Monster. Hollywood as Doctor and Monster. Mara Lieberman as Monster. Francis Allen as the Doctor. And last but not least, Larry Robinson as the Monster. And of course, Marsha Nile, the Bride. And me, I'm Tamerlane, real life supervillain. Stay evil, people!